I said, hey yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Mojados, and we're back with another video. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be discussing everything Bitcoin, guys. That's right, everything Bitcoin, everything you need to know. We'll be doing monthly updates, and if you guys have been following me along on Twitter, we've been absolutely crushing it from the macro, micro, and yeah, I mean, listen, all the proof is there. You can go back months ahead of time. We called literally the bottom of Bitcoin. So I don't have nothing to prove. But for those who are new here, feel free to take a look. But again, you know, something that I've shared literally 4 days ago talking about this level here. If it's lost, then, you know, we're pretty much going to go down. And of course, as the tweet progressed, we did lose a level. But I did say, hey, listen, if we get back above, this is also you know, like reciprocated on the other side, right? So if we do reclaim that level, expect upwards price action. And actually, I'm going to redraw it here for you guys just to show you that we did get back above this level, and we actually had some green price action earlier by holding it, and we had to move up. Now, again, what is going to happen here? We'll see what happens and how it ages. But, you know, again, it's very, very simple, and people make things super complicated when they don't need to be. And you know, I'm here to make it simple. But let's start from the longer time frame and then boil our way back down. If you've missed it, we've called the bottom on, you know, BTC simply for the reason that we were able to spot these ranges. And when we look at ranges, we want to definitely understand like what exactly and how exactly, you know, we're looking at them and when we're looking at them. You definitely want to be trying to find a range when there's max fear. And what did we see over here? We saw every single type of thing thrown at us, right? We had the most collapses in Bitcoin and crypto, you know, history than we've ever seen in any other bear market, right? You have Terra, you have UST, you have Voyager, Celsius, BlockFi, FTX, and the list goes on and on and on. And then finally over here, we just go sideways for quite a while. And this was the area, I think you guys can go back to the January video. We spoke about 17K being the area to reclaim. And then after it was reclaimed, we said 25K is a high, and that's exactly what happened. And now I'm still expecting 32K. All right, now you're probably saying, Mo, how the hell did you come up with 32K? This is an order block right here, which we've already hit. Technically, we can go down now. And I've shared on Twitter as well that maybe we do start going to 25K right now or 27K. We'll see what happens, right? But these are all areas that we can go down from. And at the end of the day, nobody knows exactly how it's going to play out. Unless you are a market maker and you have unlimited amount of Bitcoin or you're Satoshi, let me know, because that's the only way you can really stop the price from moving up, because then you have excess supply. And so realistically, the best thing we can do is position ourselves, you know, in a way that we can see more confirmation of a direction. And right now, while I am not as bullish as I was down at 17K, I'm neutral. I still believe 32K is possible. And the reason for that is simply because I don't see an ending fifth wave yet. Now, of course, when we look down, it's very, very choppy here. You know, with all this weird looking price action. But it's for that reason that I am still slightly bullish. But again, you know, it's still very possible. And you're probably saying, how can you have two biases? It's, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, I'm a reactionary trader. I have my bias sometimes. And like I said, in January, I was bullish if we reclaim this level. And that definitely netted an insane amount of returns. But again, it's not about having a bias. You don't need to have a bias. Sometimes as a trader, you don't do anything. You wait for your setup to like pretty much you know, present itself, and then you execute. So right now, if you're not positioned in the market already, I think it'd be best to be patient. But of course, you know, everybody has their own strategies, and I just think that 32K is still in the cards on the shorter time frames. But on the larger time frames, when we look at the RSI, you know, you definitely do see divergences. And you know, on the higher time frames, the weekly is still very bullish. 3-day still has a lot of juice left. That's why I think 32K is gonna happen. But you know, we still are at this monthly order block, and that is the reason why. Or was it 3 week or 2 week? 2 week? What? 1 week order block. So that's why you're definitely seeing a pause here, is because it's order block. So we'll see how that ages. Also, we are going into the halving in March of 2024. That's when the halving will occur. I believe that's around when. So you can pretty much expect price to be, you know, running upwards, right? Because what we've seen in the past is when the halving is here, the price goes up. And what you see is sometimes that there is a pause out period. The halving occurs, you see a little bit of a drawback, and then it obviously goes on a rampage. Same thing here in 2020. You saw that prices reacted positively to the halving. So, it's important to note that every single time is going to be a little different, but the aftermath usually means that we are going to go to the upside. That is what the majority believes. However, I'm here to present you something that you may not want to see, and for those who have been tuning in, you guys already know that I have a bias that's not really in tune with the rest of the market. And most people, right? And that's fine. I don't really give a shit. But the point is that you cannot ignore that this 5 waves up has occurred already, and that we could be seeing an ABC play out, and this B wave up, all right, that we're in right now is, a part of a bigger move that takes us lower actually, right? So you're probably saying, how the hell are you even going to say this for Mo? Like, what's wrong with you, this and that? Like, listen, this is 100% a possibility. I would not even be presenting this if I didn't think it was possible, but it is, and that's something that I'm considering. However, if there's a lot of volume, if there's something that changes in my bias, that is why I do this monthly. That is why I will show you guys this stuff, because if I am wrong, I'm willing to change my bias. That doesn't mean I'm not exposed to alts right now. That doesn't mean that I'm not buying Bitcoin. It just means that, listen, this is a possibility that I'm watching for, because it's definitely something that is, on the table, but to each their own. But again, it doesn't have to actually go down to 12,000, right? It doesn't have to actually be a zigzag correction, which is an ABC like this nature you see. It could actually be a triangle, right? Where it could go like this, right? It can also be a flat, which goes back down to the A level, right? Something like that. There's a lot of ways this ABC can play out, but the point I'm trying to make is that this ABC correction is not something that I want to ignore, because the fact that we've seen a clear 5 waves up, 4 years, perfect symmetry, and again, everyone's expecting the same thing to keep on repeating and keep on repeating and keep on repeating. Meanwhile, nothing about Bitcoin has been repeating itself, because for the first time in history, what did we see? Bitcoin hit a previous all-time highs, breaking the structure and breaking the trend that we've seen time and time again. We've also seen Bitcoin dominance. It didn't even reclaim itself fully like it did in the last bear market. Right here, you can clearly see it reclaimed a lot of dominance, right? And another thing was that we've never seen a double top for Bitcoin. So again, nothing about Bitcoin has been repeating itself. And these are signs for people who are paying attention to these trends that we might not get the same kind of outcome that takes us to 100K, right? So with all the stuff I just said to you, like literally, I'm not making this shit up. Like there's a reason and a science to the madness that can lead us to believe that we may not get the outcome that most expect. So with that, you can make your own goddamn assessment. But again, this is something that is on the table. And don't get me wrong, I still think that the RSI may pull back like we've seen out of every single first move up, right? Of course, wave, after the bear market's usually over, you do see some type of correction. So, who knows? We might get some type of correction even right now that plays out. But it could happen after 40K. And so again, we'll see. This is why the monthly update is so important, but this is something that I want to keep you guys aware of, something that I think is very, very possible. So again, we'll see what happens. But even when we look at the rest of the market, right, Tether and USDC dominance is falling. So basically the market as a whole is, pulling back, right? And when I say pulling back, I'm basically saying that, this is bullish for altcoins and crypto as a whole, because people are rotating out of stables, and total is also very bullish, because you can see here something that I've been talking about also on my Twitter. And if you guys again not following, then that's fine. It's up to you. If you don't want to be up to date, that's fine. But if you guys are looking along here, in August 11th of 2022, literally a year ago, I've been talking about why it's so important that we reclaim this level, that we're going to go higher. And basically, I documented it month by month on my Twitter. And you can clearly see here that, this was an area that acted as a deviation. And we clearly reclaimed that. And I think we're going much higher. Meanwhile, the rest of the masses, the rest of the people talking are extremely bearish. Right? Yes, it is possible. Sure, we get a retrace down to here, but guess what? I'm fucking buying that dip, right? And that could be Bitcoin, that could be anything. But the point is that the market is bullish. So if you're investing in, the market right now, in my opinion, and it's likely to head up because the bigger, indexes like total are signaling a bottom, then most likely you're going to be, riding the trend on the upside. So again, I could be wrong. It's not financial advice. Do whatever you want, because at the end of the day, you're the one buying. But I'm showing you why I am bullish. So of course, do your own goddamn research. But last thing I want to share is the Bitcoin dominance chart. And when we talk about ranges, when we talk about alt season, you know, this is something that you must pay attention to, especially if you hold Bitcoin, because people who hold Bitcoin want to increase their bags and obviously want to make more Bitcoin. But something that you want to watch out for is the fact that we've ranged sideways for quite a while before alt season took place and before Bitcoin lost dominance to alts, right? So, you know, where we're seeing a similar fractal, and don't get me wrong, I'm not crazy about fractals, but this range is very, very, very like clean. And if this continues to wick at this area, right, and I'm sure that you can see this turn into some type of deviation, right? It's possible where it goes a little bit higher here. But I do think that it breaks down ultimately, similarly to the December 2020 run. So again, to each their own, but this is an opportunity for Bitcoin holders to take a look at it. Use it in their analysis. I'm not saying to do anything or, you know, buy alt, but it's something that you must acknowledge, something that, you know, as an investor, you must, you know, be interested in understanding, right? And maybe you don't do anything. Understand the dynamic of the Bitcoin dominance chart. Understand what it means when it falls. It just basically means that alts are outperforming Bitcoin. And if you really want to increase your Bitcoin, take a look at the major alts that could potentially go on a run, right? That's why BTC pairs exist, right? Most people want to increase their Bitcoin because they know that a lot of altcoins won't exist. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's pretty much everything that I want to share with you guys. And I think it's very, very straightforward. And you're seeing Bitcoin react very well right now to, you know, all the things that are happening around the world. The dollar is losing dominance. You're seeing a lot of geopolitical tensions around the world. So Bitcoin is the standard when we look at what's happening as a store of value. And I think that will continue to, you know, play out in that way. But we'll see what happens. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt, and I appreciate you guys making it to the end of the video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, hodl, 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 peace.